Okay, joined by Walter Clark, Dan Bolton. Yesterday, the news conference, the complaint went out on Tuesday. Have you received any reaction yet?
I've been getting a lot of responses from people in the community who have had issues with the shelter. They've had issues with Aaron Geddes. So we've been getting a fair amount of input as far as personal experiences of other individuals in the community.
All right, so I read some of the comments online, and there was a sense that the people here want money. They started this because they want money. Is that true?
Well, certainly not from our point of view, because I think it's really unfair that that's the way they're going to spin it on the other side here. We, Dan is going forward pro bono to act in the public interest. We are often considered the civil police. We don't expect the sheriff to do anything on this. They don't investigate these things. The state doesn't have any way of inspecting these facilities. They do that for hospitals, but it's not being done for these animal shelters. And so there is a crack. The grand jury did nothing. We have stepped forward to try to help with the problem. And this objective is to get accountability on the part of the county. And that's simply the goal. It's not money, but we would seek attorney's fees at the end of this if we're successful. But this isn't the kind of case where we're looking for compensation. So I think it's an unfair accusation. I really do.
All right. So let me play the other side here, because they have not responded to the complaint yet. And they have 30 days.
30 days. Right.
Very good. All right. I'm going to be them.
Okay.
Okay. Right. We've read it. We understand a lot of what you say is true, but we got a problem. We simply have too many animals. I mean, what do you want us to do? We have nowhere to put them. We can't control it. We are just overloaded. That's got to be what they're going to say.
Well, look, that's the function of shelters to begin with. Shelters have animals. They have a lot of animals. And we know, for example, just to back up a bit, the Best Friends organization, which is the preeminent animal shelter organization in the country, looking at statistics of animals that are being killed, found that Riverside County Animal Services had the highest kill rate in the country in 2022 from reportable shelters. So it was over 20,000 animals, maybe even 24,000 animals. This is more like a slaughterhouse than a shelter, frankly. And so the issue here is, what can we do to change that? And there are concrete things we can do. Number one, we have to have proactive leadership. We don't have that now. We do have a $39 million budget, so to say, well, we can't do anything, we have too many animals, the reality is they have a $39 million budget to do things with. And finally, the other thing is they have got to start working with the community and rescue organizations to place animals. They take the easy approach and just say, we've got too many animals, we're going to kill them. What they should be doing is working with the community, working with rescue organizations, and finding new homes for those animals.
All right, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, these groups, these rescue groups, community leaders, have gone to them and say, we'd like to be involved. What can we do to help? And they've been turned aside?
They've been turned aside. I got a call yesterday, for example, from an individual in Texas who saw 2 dogs on the red list, dogs about to be killed, and he said, I want those dogs. And they said, no, they're not adoptable. And he was insistent. And so those dogs are being flown out. They're on a plane this morning, I think, to Texas. And the point is, this is what they're doing. They're saying these animals are non-adoptable, they're dangerous, or they're not healthy, and they end up being killed. But the reality is there are people out there willing to adopt them and should be allowed to adopt them.
So I guess that begs the question, and I would think as you continue pursuing this, you may find this out. Why the rush to euthanize these animals? Why should we do it so quickly, and why should there be so many?
It's frankly unconscionable. There are many no-kill shelters throughout the country. Many counties do it, many cities do it, Palm Springs does it. Does it take work? Yes, but it is certainly doable. It just takes a leader. It takes leadership, proactivity, not just sitting back and saying, oh, I've got a lot of animals, I'm just going to put them to death.
Walter, as long as you've been here in this community, to me this seems like a passion of love for you. and your group.
And for so many of our community members, the taxpayers. What you asked about to begin with is, what is it that we want? We want financial transparency. Where did this money go? What are they doing with it? I mean, this whole thing doesn't make any sense that they're having to kill these animals when they've got this giant budget. If they were to tell you in response to your inquiry, KMIR investigation, here's the numbers, here's what's going on. But they don't do that. They figuratively roll the chair back and ignore you. So this is what we want. We want to be able to get answers, and that's the reason for the writ. We're seeking help from the court.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in tonight, and I will say, I didn't get the menu on the yellow tie and the dark suit. I went blue.
Next time.
Next time. All right. Guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Fred.
Our pleasure.
Good to be with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Walter Clark, the law group has started a website for this lawsuit. Take a look. If you have information about the case, look at your screen. You can reach Walter, Dan, and their team at the website you see there. All right, lots to unpack. We welcome in our contributors, CEO of Success for Nonprofit, Stephanie Miner, Doug Baker, also joining us tonight. Doug, I'll start with you. Why do you think it came to this?
Well, it came to this because typically with lawsuits, one party does not feel like their questions are being answered. They don't feel like there's just and equitable conversations going on, that the other party's got something to hide. And from everything that we've heard, that's exactly what's going on. So, of course, a lawsuit is inevitable. It had to happen.
Stephanie, what do you think?
I wish that it didn't come to this. This is a horrible story. You all have been doing a really good job trying to get to the bottom of it, but they are not giving you answers. And so there was no choice but to file a lawsuit. Those photos from earlier are just heartbreaking. I can't even take it. It's so bad.
All right, so the suit has been filed. Discovery will take place. What's the best outcome here for everybody, Stephanie?
I think we just need to find out what is actually going on. If the county needs help, if that budget is not big enough, we can figure it out. But just staying behind closed doors, not letting anybody know what's going on is not going to solve anything. The best outcome is for them to get the help that they need, and let's take care of those animals.
Doug, do you agree?
Yeah, but there's more than that. For a good outcome, the best outcome, the community and the shelter has to work together. They have to work together to do spray and neutering clinics, to have volunteers in the shelters, to reduce the need to euthanize. So they're not doing anything yet to bring the community together. They're going to have to if they want this to happen, to be successful.
You think people should lose their jobs here, Doug?
Yes.
Stephanie, what do you think?
Yes.
I agree. I hate to say that. I really, really do, but I agree. But I do disagree with the other contributor, because I do think the community is coming together because of that. I think that we are seeing people rally, and we need to see more of that.
All right.